Good morning and welcome to Top of the Morning by Mint, your daily shot of sharp business intel, global trends and market movers. It's Monday, June 2nd. I'm Nelson John. Well, it's a Monday packed with momentum and minefields. Markets are treading cautiously, but stories are breaking fast. From India's cloud sovereignty surge and NMDC's 70,000 crore rupee mining blitz to rupee tailwinds and a full-blown metal tariff face-off with the US. This week is already firing on all fronts. Stay with us as we decode the headlines shaping your money, markets and the macro mood. This is Top of the Morning by Mint. Indian markets are set for a cautious open today, as global cues turn shaky and investors await a wave of key triggers. The Sensex and Nifty 50 are likely to open flat, tracking a mixed bag from Wall Street and a dip in Asian stocks. Japan's Nikkei and Topix dropped, while the Hang Seng futures hinted at a weak open. US indices ended last week little changed, even as the S&P 500 and Nasdaq posted their best monthly gains since November 2023. Gift Nifty to signals a flat open for India. Domestically, all eyes are on the RBI's monetary policy meet this Friday. A rate cut is expected. Also on the radar, auto sales data, foreign fund flows, and global tariff tremors. Donald Trump has doubled US steel tariffs to 50%, citing national interest, rattling Asian markets. Back home, India's economy grew 7.4% in Q4, but annually, FY25 growth slowed to 6.5%. GST collections jumped over 2 lakh crore rupees in May, and crude oil prices are heating up again. Stay diversified, advises PL Capital's Vikram Kasat, pointing to strong institutional inflows and macro resilience, but warns global trade uncertainty could cap gains. It's round 2 in the US-India metal war, and this time the gloves are off. On May 9th, India told the WTO it plans to hit back at steep US tariffs on steel and aluminum, calling them safeguard measures. But the US just shrugged. In its May 22nd response, Washington said, quote unquote, "Nope, not safeguards, these are national security actions," and flat out refused to even discuss the issues. The Trump administration has now doubled down, literally. From June 4th, the tariffs on these metals will jump from 25% to 50%. India, which exported $4.56 billion worth of metal products to the US in FY25, is staring at a big dent in trade. Sources say India could retaliate by slapping duties on American almonds, walnuts and metals. But with talks on a bilateral trade deal underway, New Delhi might still hold fire if the US shows flexibility. This is a vexed issue, said a trade expert. WTO disputes are routine, but without a functioning appellate body, enforcement is weak. Still, India's WTO notice makes its stand clear. If the US won't play ball, tariffs are coming. The Indian rupee could be in for a stronger start this week, buoyed by a GDP surprise and hopes of an RBI rate cut. India's economy grew 7.4% in Q4. Faster than any quarter in a year and well above expectations. That's likely to pump up equities and sentiment and could attract foreign inflows into the rupee. The RBI meets on Friday and markets are betting on a third straight 25 basis point cut, taking the repo rate to 5.75%. MUGF Bank says inflation will stay tamed with CPI under 4% in coming quarters, giving the central bank more room to ease. Meanwhile, bond traders are riding the rate cut wave. Yields on 5-year bonds have outperformed 10 years for 3 months straight. There is extreme bullish positioning in the bond market, says Vishal Goenka of India Bonds. Globally, US-China trade tensions remain a wild card. President Trump's move to double steel tariffs to 50% could also steer volatility. A US trade delegation lands in India midweek, potentially reshaping the broader trade narrative. Eyes are now on June 6th, not just for the RBI's decision, but also the US jobs data. Till then, expect the rupee to swing in the 84.80 to 86 band. India's mining giant NMDC is digging deep, literally and strategically. The state-run iron ore major plans to invest a staggering 70,000 crore rupees over the next 3 years to supercharge its domestic and international ambitions. We're looking at lithium, gold, cobalt, and even coking coal, said CMD Amitava Mukherjee, outlining plans to explore 10 key minerals across Africa, Australia, Southeast Asia, and South America. Domestically, the focus includes setting up slurry pipelines and expanding operations in Chhattisgarh and Andhra Pradesh. Of the 70,000 crore rupees war chest, 43,000 crore rupees worth of projects are already sanctioned or under board review. Another 30,000 crore rupees in new projects is expected to get board approval this fiscal. NMDC is exploring various models: JVs, equity partnerships, and outright acquisitions to lock in assets overseas. We're agnostic about the model, Mukherjee said. The company is also opening a holding subsidiary in Gujarat's Gift City within 3 months to anchor its international operations. NMDC aims to earn 10% of its revenue from both non-iron ore minerals and global ventures. With a 19% jump in FY25, net profit to 6,693 crore rupees, and an ambitious 55 metric ton iron ore production target for FY26, NMDC is clearly ready to mine new frontiers. India is quietly building its own digital fortress, and it's creating a golden runway for local tech giants. As the government pushes for secure, locally hosted data infrastructure, sovereign cloud services are booming. TCS and Google's India unit are leading the charge. TCS, with its fully indigenous sovereign secure cloud, claims even the hardware is made in India. It's built to address sovereignty and security concerns head-on, says a senior executive. Google, meanwhile, is already powering sensitive government workloads with its Gemini AI on the Google distributed cloud, all processed entirely on Indian soil. The push comes as government arms like the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, EPFO, Passport Seva, and UIDAI begins migrating sensitive data to isolated, India-only cloud networks. While individual contracts are modest, $2 to $5 million a year, they could multiply into a multi-billion-dollar market over the next 5 years. This isn't about replacing the Amazons and Microsofts of the world yet. There is room for both, says government officials. But when it comes to ultra-sensitive data, sovereign clouds are India's new go-to. It's early innings, but with rising digital nationalism, this could be India's biggest data play yet. That's all for today. Thank you for joining in. We are eagerly looking forward to our next Top of the Morning episode, which will be packed with the latest in business news. Until then, this is Nelson John signing off. Have a great Monday.